Good evening, Otherworldies. This is Queen Juliana, your dark masked diva. Tonight, I'm going to talk about boundaries. Boundaries are extremely important, and if you pay attention to anything I say, anything at all, please pay attention to this. Okay, it's very important. Alright. If you're going to make any real changes in your life, you're going to have to do this. Okay, and it's putting up a boundary. This is going to be the game changer. Okay, so if you want to quit drugs and stay off drugs, if you want to lose weight, if you want to move up the ladder, if you want to do anything in your life and change and make any real change and move ahead in life and do anything, you're going to have to put boundaries with people. Okay, because if you don't, you're going to get in your own way. Okay, because people disrespect you, and that's why you have problems. Alright, so here's the thing. Here's why they're disrespecting you. Okay, they're too comfortable around you. So the people who disrespect you are the people who are too close to you. Okay, we're talking about the people in your house, your close relatives, your best friends, your co-workers, just the people in your life, okay? And that's part of the reason you have bad personal habits, because you're tolerating it, okay? That's a form of self-hate. So what you need to do, if you want to make any real changes, is you need to put up some boundaries, okay? And certain boundaries are like, I don't like the way you just talked to me right now. Okay, like you won't let your kids talk back to you, right? Okay, you can't let adults talk back to you either. You can't let people bring up stuff that bothers you, that makes you mad. Stop bringing that up. Okay? Things that upset you. Stop reminding me of that. You know that upsets me. Stop bringing that up. You know what I mean? It's like if they know it traumatizes you, why do they keep bringing it up and reminding you? That's messed up, right? Okay. If you have a relative who keeps trying to bring up uncomfortable stuff, tell them to stop it. Say, I don't like the direction of this conversation. This is making me uncomfortable. Why do you keep trying to put me on the spot and bring up uncomfortable topics? I don't like the way this is going. We need to stop talking about this. And you need to tell them that. This is what's going to happen when you start putting up boundaries. People aren't going to go, oh, thank you for bringing this to my attention. Wow, this is very proactive of you. No, people are going to call you out of your name. They're going to call you out of your name. They're going to play a guilt trip on you. They're going to go and make faces at you. They're going to act like you are the world's meanest person for telling them they need to respect you. They're going to call you the B word. They're going to act like you are so mean because you actually require them to respect you now. Okay, but you are going to need them to do that. Okay, you're letting them know that their behavior is inappropriate. But what they're going to do when you point out their behavior is they're going to personalize it. Okay, it's going to hurt their feelings, and they're going to take it like it's personal. Like you're calling them a jerk or something. But what you're just doing is telling them that their behavior is not okay with you. Okay, that it's disrespectful to you. But they're going to take it like you think they're a jerk. No, you just don't like their behavior. Their behavior is making you uncomfortable. Your behavior is something that you just don't want to live with anymore. Okay, so make sure you're letting them know that it's their behavior that's not okay, that it's not them, that it's their behavior. So make sure that you're doing plenty of I statements. I feel uncomfortable with where this conversation is going. I feel disrespected when you keep bringing that up. I feel like you're not listening to me. I feel like I'm not being heard. I don't like your tone of voice. I don't like the way that you keep making me uncomfortable. I don't like what you're doing right now. Okay, I'm not going to keep living like this. Okay, so make sure you're doing a lot of I statements. This is not the way I am going to live anymore. Okay? So make sure it's a lot of I statements where you're making it about you. Okay? To where you're not pointing the finger at them. Alright? They're not going to appreciate the fact that you're establishing boundaries because people basically don't like discipline. But I'm going to tell you about their behavior. They don't treat other people like this. They don't. They're just used to being able to get away with it with you. But I'm going to tell you that they treat scummy people better than they treat you. They treat trash people better than they treat you. So let me tell you, they can treat you better. They can treat you 100% better. They will go up to a scum of the earth, trashy person and treat them like royalty and turn around and treat you like dirt. So trust me, that's how it's going, and they can treat you better. So don't think they can't treat you better. They can. So you need to hold them to a certain standard of conduct with you, okay? Don't take it like they can't do better. They can do better, okay? They just don't want to be held accountable, but you do need to hold them accountable, okay? So once you start doing that, you're going to have to stay on them. When they do things that make you uncomfortable, when you do that, it makes me uncomfortable. All right, so you're going to have to keep asserting the boundaries. They aren't going to like it. They're going to lose their temper. They're going to be mean. All right, they're not going to react to it very well at all. They're going to act like you are out of pocket for needing respect. Because they're not used to having to act right. Okay? But keep in mind, they treat other people better. And I know you've seen them treat other people better. That's what hurts so much, right? So stay on them. Stay consistent. Don't let them get away with it. All right, so meanwhile, you're putting the boundaries up with people. They're learning that they can't do this. Now, keep in mind that not everybody has the same impulse control that you have, right? Not everybody can think ahead the way you do, all right? They're not doing it on purpose. Now, what they're going to do is they're going to tell you they're not doing it on purpose. And you know what? They're not. They're not doing it on purpose. But they're not disrespecting other people like they're disrespecting you either, trust me. So what they're doing is they're just not being considerate of you. Okay, so they're not doing it on purpose, but they're not watching themselves either. And they should be watching themselves. They should not be doing this at all. So while they're not doing it on purpose, they're not watching their conduct either. So they don't care enough to watch their conduct, and that's what the problem is. They need to learn to stop doing this kind of stuff to you, right? So even though they're not doing it on purpose, it's still wrong that they're doing it, and they can learn to stop doing it, right? So some people just have disconcerting behavior. They do things that you're thinking they really should know better, right? You're thinking they should know better. Okay. Some people are not in tune with that part of them that should know better, all right? Some people have poor impulse control. You're going to have to stay on them, and you're going to resent having to stay on them because you're thinking, if they really cared about me, they wouldn't be doing this at all, and I wouldn't have to be telling them. Okay, you're going to have to keep telling them. You're going to have to stay on them. And sooner or later, it's going to sink in, and they're going to get tired of you having your foot up their A, okay? And they're going to react to it poorly. They're going to continue to react to it poorly, but after a while, it's going to sink in. Okay, they're going to have to respect you. It's something they're going to have to get used to because they've been getting away with doing whatever to you as long as however it's been going on. Okay, but if you want to get ahead, you need to keep the boundaries up. You can't let people talk about uncomfortable things in your presence that you don't like. You can't let people do whatever it is that they're doing. Bringing up things that are inappropriate. Saying things you don't like. Saying things that trigger you. Okay? Whatever it is that they're doing that you don't like. Okay? Saying a word you don't like. Whatever it is. Whatever your thing is that is keeping you from doing whatever you need to be doing. Okay? stuff that isn't cool. Everybody has their different thing that they don't like. Like, I was around my mom the other day. She kept bringing up inappropriate topics. And I kept having to tell her, that's not really appropriate. I'm really uncomfortable with what you're talking about. And you know what? Everybody's mother does that. And I couldn't figure out why she kept bringing stuff up like that. But I know everybody's mom does that. And I just have, you know, and like, you hate to say that to your own parent, but I had to just keep telling her, I'm not really comfortable with what we're talking about. Please don't talk about that. And I just kept sitting there like, incredulously like, I can't believe she's bringing that up. Like, why is she talking about that? But I kept having to ask her, I don't like where this conversation is going. We need to talk about something else. And I had to keep rerouting the conversation. But it was inappropriate conversations. But for some reason, you know, parents just don't know that some stuff's inappropriate. And it was making me uncomfortable. And I had to keep, you know, and it was one thing after another. It was like, once I stopped her from one inappropriate conversation, she'd bring up another inappropriate thing. I don't know what it is. You know, and that gives me a lot of anxiety. But I think a lot of grown people's parents do that. You know, and they don't understand that their kids need privacy, and they ask weird questions, and they just don't understand. They don't understand, you know, some stuff is really a weird question, or it's a weird topic, or I don't know what it is. But it was just one uncomfortable thing after another. And I really don't know why. I really don't know why she was doing that. But I had to keep putting one boundary up after another. It was kind of like I was being tested. Maybe it's, you know, just that I needed to make this video. But I just had to say, hey, you know, this topic is making me uncomfortable. I think we need to talk about something else. Can we talk about something else? Yeah, I'm not sure why you're talking about this, but I wish we'd talk about something else. And I had to keep doing that. And it was just really like, whoa. But you never know where your folks are coming from, why they're bringing that up. You know, and she wasn't coming from a place where she was trying to embarrass me. I mean, why would she be trying to do that? Right? But I had to keep doing that. I had to keep asserting myself like, hey, this is making me uncomfortable. But maybe back in her day, those kind of conversations weren't uncomfortable. In mine, they are. So, I bet my Grammy probably brought up stuff that embarrassed her all the time. So I bet it was like the same thing. I bet. So I had to just keep asserting myself over and over. And I felt like a big meanie doing it, but I was like, nope. Gotta let her know that's not okay. Because I could just see the conversation getting worse as she kept going. I'm like, okay, gotta stop it right now. Stop it before it gets worse. I could just see this getting even worse. I don't like the way this is going. And I'm not going to say what it was because you guys are going to be like, whoa. But I had to just keep stopping every conversation. Every other conversation she brought up, it was like another inappropriate thing. And because parents do that. You know, and it was just kind of like, you have to talk to people who are closest to you and say, hey, you know, I'm not really comfortable with what you're saying. You know, it's not like they're being malevolent. It's not like they're doing it on purpose. You're just like, you know, and it's like people that you don't know, the stuff they do doesn't bother you. You know, there's that occasional stranger that does something that bothers you, but you just walk away from them and you're not emotionally invested in them. But the people closest to you, when you tell them no, they get upset. But you have to. You know what I mean? Like, you have to pick your battles with people, but if they keep doing stuff and they don't stop, you're going to have to keep on them. You can't keep letting them do stuff. Especially if they have a history of doing it. If you really want to have some change in your life, because you're going to build a resentment, and you're going to get mad at yourself for not saying something. And I guess that's where I'm really going with this. Because I've had to make a lot of changes in my life, and a lot of those changes had to do with me putting up boundaries with people. And trust me, nobody likes the boundaries. I don't like having to put the boundaries up. It's very uncomfortable. Nobody likes me putting the boundaries up. Nobody likes being told no by me. Because sometimes I'm nice about it, and sometimes I'm not so nice about it. But no matter how I do it, nobody likes it. So there's no... People are going to give you a guilt trip, or they're just going to be downright hostile about it when you do it. So nobody's going to react well to it. They're either going to be like passive about it, or they're going to be aggressive about it. I mean, nobody's going to be like, thank you for bringing this to my attention. I mean, I don't know anybody who really likes being corrected. So this is not going to be a pleasant experience. You're just going to have to stay at somebody who has a problem with boundaries. And it's because they've been around a bunch of people who don't have boundaries. And they have a problem. They don't have a lot of boundaries. So boundaries are a new thing for them. It's uncomfortable for them. They're not going to like it. So it's just one of those things where you're going to have to, whatever new disciplines you have in your life, whether it's a diet, whether it's staying off of a substance, whether it's your new job, whatever it is, you're going to have to stay on somebody and keep telling them, no, don't do that. And it's consistency, like with every part of success. Is consistency. Consistency is key when it comes to success. Boundaries. Okay? Consistency with boundaries. And please stay with those boundaries if you learn anything from me, okay? And I've got a road ahead of me. A long road ahead of me. So wish me luck. Alright, otherworldlies, I love you all. Bye-bye.